Hello everyone. Tonight on Margaret Radio, Health in Later Life, we're going to explore a path that's as delicate as it is powerful. A journey that unfolds quietly, almost like petals opening in the early morning light. It's not a race, not a sprint. It's the gentle week-by-week unfolding of your body's ability to heal from something as serious, and as deeply human, as a myocardial infarction. You've probably heard the term before, myocardial infarction. Maybe a doctor said it quickly, maybe you read it on a pamphlet at a clinic. Maybe it was whispered in a hospital room or discussed over a quiet cup of tea after a scare. But tonight, we're going to bring softness to that word. We're going to unroll it gently like a well-worn blanket, look at what it really means, and more importantly, how your recovery, takes shape, week by week. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by medical language. Even I, with a whole folder labeled health stuff on my desktop, sometimes stare blankly at it and think, well, that sounds official. But underneath the terms and charts and appointments, there's something much simpler, your body trying its very best to mend. And tonight, we'll walk alongside that process. Picture this, you, wrapped in a cozy throw, your favorite chair beneath you, your breathing slowly evening out. Maybe you've already brushed your teeth, or maybe you're like me and you always forget until the very last minute. No judgment here. Whether you're curled up in bed or just beginning to unwind, this space is for you. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. I promise we keep things gentle, honest, and always just a little sleepy. And while we're here, I'd love to know, where are you listening from? What's your local time right now? Drop it in the comments if you feel like sharing. It always warms my heart to know someone in Manchester, or Manila, or maybe Milwaukee, is resting at the same time I'm talking to you. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Imagine the hush that comes after a storm. That deep exhale from the sky. That's where you are, not in the thunder, not in the rush to the hospital, but in the quiet, the part where healing begins. You might be feeling a little unsure, maybe even fragile. That's okay. You've been through something profound. Your heart has reminded you that it needs care, that you need care. And each week, in small ways, your body will answer that reminder. So let's begin. Let's trace this recovery one gentle week at a time. Let's walk together through the healing, through the rest, through the hopeful steady return to yourself. Your recovery begins not just with healing, but with understanding what happened, the how and why of a myocardial infarction. You might hear the phrase tossed around often, heart attack, blockage, cardiac event, but beneath those words lies a gentle truth. Your heart sent a message. And tonight, we're listening. A myocardial infarction happens when the blood flow to a part of your heart gets blocked, usually by a buildup of plaque. Plaque sounds so harmless, doesn't it? Like something you might scrub off your teeth or rinse off a dish. But in your arteries, it's a sticky mix of cholesterol, fat, and other substances. Over time, it builds up quietly, without fuss. Like dust on a forgotten shelf, until suddenly, it matters. Imagine your heart as a garden hose. Water flows through easily until one day, a pebble wedges itself inside. The pressure builds. The hose strains. If the pebble isn't cleared, the flow stops and the plants wither. That's what your heart faces during a myocardial infarction. A blockage that starves your heart muscle of oxygen, even just for a few moments. The causes aren't always dramatic. Sometimes, they're years in the making. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, and even a lack of movement, they all tiptoe silently behind the scenes. They don't always announce themselves with pain. Often, they work quietly until your heart simply can't keep the rhythm. But that's not the whole story. There's more to the picture, a softer side, one that includes your daily habits, your stress levels, your sleep, and yes, even your griefs. Did you know that emotional stress, like the loss of someone you love or a period of deep anxiety, can contribute to a heart event? It's not just about numbers on a chart. It's also about how you carry the weight of life. And everyone's experience is different. Some people feel a crushing pain in the chest. Others feel it in their arms, their jaw, or their back. Some just feel tired, a deep, unshakable fatigue. You might even wonder if it was indigestion. That's one of the more curious things, how variable heart attack symptoms can be, especially in women and older adults. You might be asking, why me? That's a question many people ask in those quiet hospital rooms. And while I can't give you one neat answer, I can offer this: it's rarely one thing. It's often a collection of small things over timed choices, genetics, and circumstances that come together. One well-established health fact is that coronary artery disease is the leading cause behind most myocardial infarctions. This condition narrows your arteries and stiffens their walls, which affects the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your heart. It's like trying to sip a thick milkshake through a narrow straw. Eventually, the effort just doesn't work. Here's something you might not hear often: not all blockages are created equal. In some people, small plaques rupture and cause major events. In others, even significant narrowing doesn't lead to a heart attack. It's one of the more humbling aspects of medicine, the unpredictable nature of the body. Now here's a comforting insight: your body is remarkably resilient. Even if part of the heart muscle is damaged, the rest of your heart begins to compensate almost immediately. Nearby blood vessels try to pick up the slack. Your body doesn't wait. It starts healing right away, within hours. It's quiet, internal work, but it's happening. There's something empowering in understanding the causes, not for blame, but for clarity. The better you know your heart, the better you can care for it. That's true whether your myocardial infarction was a lightning bolt from nowhere or something your doctors had gently warned about for years. And remember, every story is different. Some recover quickly. Others take more time. Some need medication adjustments, while others require more rest. There's no one-size-fits-all in healing, only your pace, your path, and the kindness you show yourself along the way. You might feel a flutter now and then. A little uneven beat. A moment of tiredness that makes you pause. That's okay. It's part of recovery. Your heart is learning its rhythm again, and so are you. You're not behind. You're not late. You're right where you need to be. And now, here you are, past the frightening moment, past the hospital monitors and the quiet beeps that once measured your every heartbeat. Now, you're in the space where healing takes root. It doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't rush. It begins, in the softest way, with how you wake up in the morning. With how you breathe. With what you believe is possible for your body. And every day of recovery, week by week, brings something new. Week 1 feels tender. You might find yourself lying still, not out of fear, but out of unfamiliarity with what your heart has just endured. You feel the deep thump of your heartbeat in your chest, maybe more than before. The days are filled with gentle observations: how easily you tire, how slowly you rise from bed. Everything seems measured, like you're learning to trust your body again. Your doctor might encourage you to take short walks, maybe just to the bathroom or down the hall. These aren't just movements. They are declarations, your body saying, "I'm still here." Even sipping water feels deliberate. Eating breakfast, toast and soft eggs, becomes an act of care. The routines may be small, but they signal life stirring back into rhythm. By week 2, you start noticing the sunlight again. You begin sitting up longer, maybe opening the window. Fresh air feels surprisingly emotional. The breeze might remind you of something forgotten, the way your chest expands not just with breath, but with hope. Cardiac rehabilitation often enters the conversation now. It sounds serious, but it's really just a team of warm, knowledgeable people walking beside you, teaching you how to move again, how to eat, how to recognize what's normal and what deserves attention. You're not just healing your heart, you're retraining it, gently. One well-established fact is that supervised cardiac rehab significantly lowers your risk of future heart problems and improves recovery time. It isn't about punishment, it's about rediscovery. Now, let's talk about food, not in a judgmental way, but lovingly. By week 3 or 4, your meals become quieter choices. Less salt. More vegetables. Maybe you're exploring oatmeal again or rediscovering the joy of ripe berries. No one's asking for perfection. Just a shift toward heart-friendly meals like grilled fish, olive oil drizzles, or steamed greens that still hold their gentle crunch. Eating well isn't about restriction. It's about love for your heart, your future, and your mornings. Week 5 might bring surprises. You may feel stronger than expected. Maybe you walk a little farther. Maybe you carry your laundry across the room or step outside to check the mail. These aren't trivial things, they're huge. Because 5 weeks ago, you weren't sure what would come next. Still, questions might pop up. Why does my heart flutter when I lie down? Why do I feel short of breath when I climb stairs? These are common. Every person's journey feels different. Some regain energy quickly. Others move in smaller increments. And all of it is okay. There's no competition in healing. You may find comfort in creating a small journal. Just a few lines each night. How you felt today. What went well? What worried you? This little habit becomes a mirror for your healing, a private space where progress reveals itself gently. Some days, all you write is, I walked to the kitchen and made tea. That's more than enough. Let's pause for a comforting tip, one you might not hear often. Laughter is good for your heart. Truly. Watching something that makes you chuckle, even softly, helps relax blood vessels and lowers stress hormones. It's not frivolous. It's medicine of the lightest, most joyful kind. Around week 6 or 7, your confidence grows. Maybe you shower standing up without fear. Maybe you stretch your arms and feel no tightness. You start to notice the rhythm of your days returning, slowly, carefully, like a familiar song that once got lost in the noise. You're not back to normal, because you're becoming something new, stronger, gentler, more aware. Now is also the time when sleep may become your focus. Some nights, you toss. Not from pain, but from processing. Your mind may wander to what happened, to what could have been, to what lies ahead. That's normal. Healing doesn't just live in the body. It hums through the brain, too. Create a bedtime ritual that cradles you, soft lighting, calming scents like lavender, or the white noise of a fan. Remember, your heart recovers best in rest. Each hour of sleep is a thread in the fabric of your healing. By week 8 or 9, the future no longer feels uncertain. You might have your first visit to the grocery store. You might prepare your favorite meal. You may even laugh more belly laughs, the kind that shake your shoulders. And your heart. It keeps time. It doesn't forget what it's been through, but it doesn't stay stuck in that moment either. By week 10 and beyond, life looks familiar again, but softer. You feel your pulse during your morning walks, steady, present. You look at your pill organizer not with dread, but with acceptance. You've built habits. You've made peace with medication, with change, and with your body's new pace. And somewhere in those weeks, you'll find yourself doing something completely ordinary, tying your shoe, watering a plant, folding a towel, and you'll realize you're not thinking about your heart anymore. You're just living. You might carry a scar. Maybe on your chest, or maybe just in memory. But that scar, in its quiet way, is proof that you endured, adapted, and found your rhythm again. So be proud of your steps. Celebrate every tiny milestone. Because each breath, each smile, each quiet, unremarkable morning is your heart whispering, I'm still here. As the days stretch into months, the newness of your journey begins to soften. Your routines are now stitched gently into your mornings and evenings. There's less fear. Fewer questions. More breath. More quiet moments where you realize you're not just recovering anymore. You're living. You might sit at the edge of your bed, feet finding the floor, and notice how your heart feels steady now. Not perfect, not untouched, but strong in a new, calmer way. Like a violin that's been retuned. It hums instead of shouts. You trust it again. And maybe there's a little ritual you've created just for yourself. A moment with your tea. A quiet reading chair. A window you like to watch from where the light changes with the hours. These small details hold you. They remind you that healing isn't about dramatic milestones. It's in the ordinary days you no longer take for granted. Of course, there will be days when you feel tired. And others when you'll surprise yourself with energy you didn't expect. Your body still speaks, just more gently now. You'll know when to rest. When to stretch. When to say not today. And when to try again. A wonderful thing happens somewhere along the path. You stop identifying solely as someone who had a heart attack. That becomes part of your story, yes, but not the headline. The headline becomes how you wake each day, how you listen, how you love people a little harder, and how you love yourself, maybe for the first time in a very long while. You'll notice other things too, like how you eat more mindfully, not with guilt or obsession, but with care. You've learned what feeds your body and what soothes it. That a handful of almonds can be as satisfying as a chocolate bar. That a walk in fresh air can be better than a nap. That reaching out to someone you love, just to say hello, can lift your spirit in ways no medicine ever could. There's this gentle truth that arrives with time: your body wants to heal. It really does. Even when you doubt it. Even when it feels slow or uncertain. Beneath the skin, inside your chest, your heart works moment by moment to stay with you. It has never abandoned you. And now, you're learning how to work with it, not against it. Some nights, you might still remember the moment everything changed. A siren, a squeeze in your chest, the rush to the hospital. But those memories fade, like ripples on a pond. What remains is the quiet power of what came after. The choice to keep going. The effort to heal. The miracle of a morning cup of tea. And if you ever doubt how far you've come, just sit still and feel your pulse. That steady rhythm is your heart's quiet applause. You are not broken. You are healing. You are not weak. You are wise. And you are not alone, because someone, somewhere, is listening tonight, breathing just like you, healing just like you, hoping just like you. So, as this gentle journey draws to a close tonight, let your eyes grow heavy, your breath slow and easy. Let the thoughts of tomorrow melt away. There is nothing urgent now. Just the soft hum of healing. Just the quiet thump of a heart doing its best, just like you are. Sleep well tonight, dear one. Your body is working even as you rest. You've done enough for today. And when morning comes, whenever it does, you'll rise with it. Maybe you stretch your arms and feel a lightness. Maybe the sun peeks through your window, and you're grateful for another ordinary day. Or maybe it's still cloudy, but inside, there's a little more peace than there was before. Tonight, you've listened with kindness. You've rested your body. You've honored your heart. Now it's time to let go. Let your thoughts slow, like leaves floating down a quiet stream. Let your breath carry you toward rest, soft, deep, easy. You are safe. You are healing. You are loved.